Good morning, good people. It is Friday, November the 19th, 2021, and this is Wake Up with Ray G. We in the building, baby. It's Friday. Your boy was up late, no sleep last night, but I'm here. Jay. How you doing this morning, my friend, on this Friday?
I'm good. I see you rocking the Rondell.
Oh yeah, I'm Rondell today, baby.
We ain't even talking. That jersey looks a little big for you, though.
Ron Deasy, baby. Yeah, Rondell. That's my dog. He ain't doing nothing in the league, but that's my dog, man. I rock with Rondell
guy,
more. Huh?
Since he was 18 years old. Before he was 18 even.
Yeah,
you were
man.
all on Rondell.
Yeah, you already know, man. Morning, Bruni. Morning, Stone. Morning, everybody tapped in. Got a good show to get to today. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Wake Up with Ray G podcast. Make sure you tapped in every day, man. We appreciate y'all being here. BetsTV.com. Go over there. Watch all the shows. I told you, Double G, and I ain't talking about Gucci. Get them touchdown props in before the end of the season. Win some money. Follow people like Chris Meany doing dope stuff. Elliot. I mean, everybody's on the show, man. Mad Lab, boxing, all types of shit. So come tap in. BestTV.com. Jay. I lost my baseball MVP prop, man. I just threw some YOLO money out there on Vlad Guerrero, and he ain't get it, man. Shohei Ohtani, unanimous, right? I think he was unanimous, right? You're muted.
Yes, sir. I know. Yeah. No, it's funny because when I was reading this last night, I saw he was 5th, and then I changed it in the show notes this morning, but I forgot to change the graphic. He was the 11th unanimous MVP in AL history. And his stats,
Run them off.
When you talk about a player who does both, it's just insane. 9-2, 3.18 ERA, 130 innings pitched, 156 Ks, 257 batting average, 103 runs, 46 homers, which was second in all of baseball, not even just in the AL. And he actually had more homers than Vlad Guerrero Jr., 100 RBIs, and 26 steals. Damn.
Yeah.
Unanimous
Beast
MVP.
Mode, man.
He earned it, man.
Beast mode.
And then Bryce Harper on the NL side, he beat out Juan Soto, mainly because Tatis didn't make the playoffs. Soto,
was that a shock?
Terrible.
Was that a shock for Harper to win it, or not really? Not really?
No. Remember when Tatis got injured, right? Mm-hmm. He had the shoulder injury. He went to the outfield for a little while, and eventually he transitioned back to shortstop. That was really what derailed his season. He had a lot of momentum, but then eventually he kind of fell back to earth. Harper had a just beast mode second half. And I heard rumblings probably about July, a little bit after the trade deadline, that Harper was maybe going to win MVP, and he ended up doing it. He ended up doing it. I think I mentioned on this show a long time ago that he was slowly becoming a favorite, and then Soto had a spectacular season, but the Nats were just too bad. They couldn't give him the MVP award. Maybe next year, though, Soto can come back with a vengeance with the better Nats team.
All right, there it is. And, Steph Curry went off again last night. He's playing out of his freaking mind, man. Steph is insane,
Steph Curry
bro.
show. This is Steph Curry fanboy show. I'm all in on it, man.
We're all in on Steph. What are Steph's MVP odds, man?
Oh, he's the favorite. He's
the
favorite.
We talked
about him last time. He was like plus 300 to win MVP. He's the favorite.
All right.
Yeah, he's a favorite. But the crazy thing about him is he had 9 3-pointers again last night. He had 9 3-pointers in Brooklyn, and he's got 10 9 3-point games since April. No other player in the NBA right now for their entire career has more than 9, and that's James Harden and Damian Lillard. So what Steph Curry has done from April to today, nobody in the NBA has done for their entire career, and that's score more than 9 3-pointers.
Beast mode, man. Beast mode. Steph Curry, man. Steph Curry. We got a lot to get to, Jay, so we're going to pivot to the NFL, and we had a Thursday night game or something like that last night. The New England Patriots, behind a stellar defensive performance, beat down the Atlanta Falcons 25-0. Jay, we had a lot of props in this game, and we hit a lot of them, man. Atlanta plus 6.5 did not come to fruition, but New England on the money line, check money. Game under 47, cash money. Mac Jones under passing yards, cash money. Kyle Pitts under, we cashed that. Kendrick Bourne over his receiving yard total, cash that. Did miss the touchdown for Kendrick Bourne. And then Damian Harris over 51.5. We cashed that. It was a good night for the squad last night. The Falcons were stank. The same Atlanta Falcons that laid an egg versus Dallas, they came to play last night, or they didn't come to play last night. They got run out of the building again, and all the little bit of credit that I gave Atlanta for playing decent a couple of weeks ago, all that goes out the window. They stink. They're terrible. They suck. I'm sorry for even uttering the words that they were playing decent football. Matt Ryan looks absolutely cooked. I go back. It was looking rocky for me for a minute, Jay, but I go back. Kyle Pitts, Justin Fields. Was it the right decision? Yeah. I think we're back on the narrative that they probably should have drafted Justin. Don't you think so? You don't think so? You still think Kyle Pitts was the right pick for him? There's no way you believe that.
So it's not that I think he was the right pick, but Matt Ryan, man, when you talk about offensive line issues,
he's booty.
He was just getting killed out there. And if he might have missed
booty
it,
too.
because I know you mentioned you were out.
I was watching that bitch.
Foot injury. Remember? Did you see the foot injury? That
yeah,
he had
I saw it,
in the
man.
Middle of the game? He got his ankle rolled pretty badly. He was hobbling out there. So again, a Matt Ryan who isn't mobile is a lot worse than a Matt Ryan who has a sprained ankle, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reverse. But you talk about a guy who's under pressure the whole game. The Pats, every play, they couldn't run the ball. They couldn't do anything. And especially early in the third quarter, he was throwing a lot of swing passes to Mike Davis, a lot of short passes. He couldn't really do a whole lot out there. The offensive line was just killing him all game long. Would it make a difference if Fields was out there? Maybe a little bit. But, I do agree with you that Fields would have been the better pick. But Matt Ryan can't do anything behind that offensive line. And frankly, I don't think anybody could.
Yeah, man. Matt Ryan, 19 for 28, 153, two interceptions, no touchdowns, 4 sacks. The running game for Atlanta, nothing. I think Cordero was out there. He tried to go, but couldn't really. I mean, I didn't know how the hell he was going to play. Did he go out there? Yeah, he was inactive. Cordero tried. I said he tried to go, but he couldn't do anything. The ankle, he was working out pregame. Mike Davis, 3 carries, 1 yard. Terrible. Let's talk about New England because there's not a lot to talk about. Well, there's one interesting stat from Atlanta. Go ahead and drop this gem of a nugget with the quarterbacks, man. Go ahead and drop that.
Yeah, so Matt Ryan threw 2 picks, and then they brought in Josh Rosen. The game was over. Josh Rosen comes in, throws a pick 6, and then they think, well, it couldn't get much worse than that. So let's throw in the third stringer, Felipe Franks, transferred to Arkansas out of Florida. Terrible quarterback, but let's throw him in there. First pass he throws, intercepted by the Patriots. 4 total interceptions. 3 different quarterbacks threw picks. First time it's happened since 2000. And I believe one of the quarterbacks was actually Jim Harbaugh. And that was the Chargers, I believe, in 2000. 3 quarterbacks threw 3 picks. That is
all right, Jay. We haven't used it in a long time, but I'm gonna do the drop because it's time for a rant. It's time for a rant, Jay. So let's do it. Let's drop the drop. It's time for a rant. It doesn't matter what you think. I'm gonna shove that up there. You know what? I know you're happy about that, right? You're happy that I used that drop.
I didn't even know we had it on the show doc.
Yeah. I've got a rant
so long
because I am calling out all the analysts, all the draft people, all the folks on Twitter about Mac Jones. I'm calling everybody out because as I'm at the bar and I'm watching this subpar game last night, right? You look at Mac Jones' final stat line, 22 for 26, 207 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, took 3 sacks. Receiving, let's look at the receptions, right? Kendrick Bourne, 4 catches, Aguilar, 5, Myers, 4, Hunter Henry, 2, Bolden had 2, N'Keal Harry had 2. I mean, you had like 10 different players catch a ball. And I'm sitting back and I'm looking on the timeline because I can't hear the game. I'm watching the game. We're at the bar. And all I keep seeing is, Mac Jones. I know why his completion percentage is so high. Oh, I see why he completes so many passes. Oh, he can't throw for over 300 yards. Dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. I'm watching all of this play out. And all I can think about is he's a rookie freaking quarterback, man. A rookie quarterback. Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, what the hell have they done up to this point in the season? What have they done? What have any of those quarterbacks done that just puts them at some elevated level opposed to what this young man is doing? I still don't understand the hate that he gets for completing a bunch of passes. He's a rookie quarterback playing in probably one of the hardest offenses to master with no wide receiver one of consequence. Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers, would be at best a wide receiver 2 on any other franchise in the NFL, maybe outside of Detroit. But the weaponry that he has, what the hell else do you want him to do? Like, honestly, what else do you want him to do? These same people that are talking about him are the same ones who said, oh, he's not a first-round pick. Oh, he won't ever be a starter in the NFL. He doesn't have the arm strength to complete passes. He can't run around and do all this stuff. So they've run out of that excuse is tired. That excuse is played out, lame, and makes you look foolish. So now let's shift the narrative to, oh, he's dink and dunk. He's a rookie quarterback. His 11th game in the NFL. His team is 7-4, and all QB stats aren't a real stat. QB stats don't matter. Yada. What the hell else has any of the rookie quarterbacks done to this point in time? What have they done? Trey Lance, you have no clue what he is. Everybody, I don't give a damn who you're talking to. The highest NFL scout and executive or the biggest San Francisco 49ers fan, you have no idea what you have in Trey Lance. He can be great and he can be stank. You have no clue. What we do know is that this young man, who majority of people said shouldn't be drafted high, no reason he should be considered number 3 overall, is producing. He's doing a very good job for a rookie quarterback, and all I can think about is why? Why is this narrative continuing to float out there about this dude? It blows my mind. I'm watching it, and all I can say is this is why I cannot converse with people on Twitter on game day, because it's a bunch of people who I guess the expectation is he should be lighting it up. 300, the same guy that shouldn't have been a first-round pick, that was never going to be a starter, that wouldn't beat out Cam Newton. All of a sudden, now he's supposed to throw for 400 damn yards a game in order for that for him to be a good quarterback. I don't get it, man. Like, it's tired, it's lame, it's played out. I'm over it, dude. Like, the young man is one of the top 10 in passing yards, and his I don't know, Jay. I don't get it. I don't understand why this narrative still exists the unquestioned best-looking rookie quarterback in the 2021 NFL draft class to this point. And if you go back to 2020, outside of Joe Herbert and Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow, he's the best-looking rookie, the third best rookie quarterback from that class. So over the past 2 years, you combine all the damn quarterbacks, Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones is right behind Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow right now of what he's done on the field. I don't get it, man. Am I off base here? This shit it's got to stop. It's got to stop. And I got the receipts on a lot of people who talk that talk before the draft, and I'm just waiting to unload the clip on folks. But this has got to stop, dude. It's got to stop.
Yeah, so I agree with you, and I don't want to take too much time.
No, we taking all the time. It's my show. We're going to take as much time as we need to take because this shit has got to stop.
So my question to you, and I'm not a detractor of Mac Jones. I've always said to you that I think he's a good quarterback, but I think he's a low ceiling quarterback, right?
What does that mean? What does that mean? What are you talking about? Stop that. No. No. We're not going to go there. You don't know what his ceiling is because he's only played 11 games in the NFL. You don't know what his ceiling is. What is Trey Lance? Is he a high ceiling player? Why? What has he done to make you say he's a high ceiling player? What is Zach Wilson? Wait a minute. What has Zach Wilson done to make you say he's a high ceiling quarterback? Why? Because he threw the ball 80 yards in his goddamn underwear? Are you kidding me right now? Stop it. We're not going there. We're not doing it. We're not doing low ceiling, high ceiling. You don't know what he is. The ceiling is he's completing passes. He's not turning the ball over. He's played 11 games in the NFL, and he's got his team in position to make the playoffs. What else do you want from a rookie quarterback, man?
Okay, so where would you rank him in the NFL right now? Where would you rank him in the top?
I'm not ranking him in the NFL. I'm ranking him amongst his peers. Amongst his peers, he's number 1. That's what matters.
We know that, but I'm not disputing.
Clearly, we don't know that.
I'm not disputing that. I've never said anything.
I didn't say you. I'm talking about the masses.
But I'm asking you. Okay, so we know how good he is. We've seen that. But when I say that he's a low ceiling quarterback, it's not to say that he can't be great.
What the fuck
he's
does
great
that mean?
Right now.
He's not great
now, right?
He's not great right now. No.
How is he not great right now?
He's
what,
good,
fourth in the NFL in completion percentage right now?
He's a good rookie. I'm not even saying he's great. I'm saying he's good, and give him his damn credit. Stop every time he's playing. They just won 25-0. Yes, the defense held and carried that team to victory, but what else do you want him to do with Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry, the corpse of Jonnu Smith? What else do you want him to do? He has no Deebo Samuel. Give him Deebo Samuel. Maybe some of the catches that Kendrick Bourne takes, if he has a Deebo Samuel, he can yak that hoe 80 yards for a touchdown. Give him CeeDee Lamb. Give him Michael Gallup. Give him Terry McLaurin. Give him Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Give him somebody.
Okay, but if he has those guys or if he doesn't have those guys, how much better does he get with those players?
A lot better.
Because to me,
a lot better.
To me, right?
A lot better.
We've seen him with elite talent before. Right? We've seen that. That's not that we don't know what that doesn't. We know what that looks like. When he's had Judy, when he's had Smith, when he's had all these guys, he performs very, very well. We know that. But again, is he a player who plays above the X's and O's? Can he do that? Can he do that with just his intellect? Because he's not going to do that necessarily with his arm. He's not going to do that with his legs. And that's separated from Mac Jones and other quarterbacks.
How's he not doing it with his arm? What are you talking about? Like, honestly, this is the narrative that continues to get. What has he not done with his arm? You just asked me.
He can make the throws, but you don't see him making throws off script, which is something we've seen from a lot of elite quarterbacks. You look back at all the quarterbacks that are in the championship games. It's Lamar Jackson. It's Josh Allen. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Ryan Tannehill. It's Aaron Rodgers. The only one who doesn't really make throws off script as much is Tom Brady. So he has to go the Tom Brady mold of success. Because all the other quarterbacks we've seen in these high-end games, yes, he can win 10, 12 games a season. That's not a problem. But we're talking about getting beyond that, getting to a higher level. That's what I'm saying. You want to compare him to his peers? Okay, fine, you can do that. But we know that his peers right now aren't playing very well. He's clearly head and shoulders above the rest. But where does he stack in amongst the rest of these quarterbacks? That's my whole question.
So now we move the goalpost. We move the goalpost further for him, right? Because
I'm not moving
no. You are moving. No, we're moving the goalpost because you just said, oh, his peers aren't playing well, and we know that. So let's compare him to Aaron Rodgers. A two-time NFL. Wait.
Herbert, though, when Herbert was playing well above his peers, you start comparing him to Mahomes. You start comparing him to Allen. You start comparing because you don't need to compare him to his peers anymore. He's already head and shoulders above them. So where is he stacking amongst these other guys? That's what I'm saying.
Justin Herbert. Who's his running back his rookie year?
Austin Eckler.
And what is Austin Eckler? One of the best what?
Pass catching running back.
Okay. Who's his wide receiver?
Keenan Allen and Mike.
Who was his tight end last year?
Hunter Henry.
Okay, so he's got a significantly better trio of pass-catching weapons in an offense that does not run the way New England, that's their offense. He's operating in the constructs of his offense. Now we're not comparing Mac Jones, who shouldn't have been a first-round pick at all, right? Was god-awful, noodle arm, shouldn't have been a first-round pick. So we're gonna discredit how well he's playing against Trevor Lawrence, the generational quarterback, Justin Fields, the second coming of Lamar Jackson, Trey Lance, this dude. They've played bad, so we're gonna compare him to Aaron Rodgers. We're gonna compare him to Lamar Jackson. We're gonna compare him to Justin Herbert. We're not there yet, man. I'm not even going there. I'm not even taking it there. All I'm saying is appreciate what he's doing in his space, in his era, in his mold, what he's doing. I don't care to even think about putting him and comparing him to freaking Aaron Rodgers. Are you kidding me? No shit.
I'm not comparing him to
he's not Aaron Rodgers. You just said it.
But what I'm saying is that when you're talking about a ceiling for a quarterback, Mac can't do the things that these guys
Let me ask you something.
Regardless of how hard he tries to do these things.
Let me ask you something.
Do you think he can ever do any of that stuff? Regardless of how old he is now.
I do. Did you think in 2001 this would be the Tom Brady that we had? Low ceiling, slow ass quarterback, terrible body. Did you say, oh man, that ceiling is high right there. When Aaron Rodgers,
No,
wait a minute.
You're comparing him to the greatest outlier of all time. Like, that's your argument? The greatest
we'll
outlier of all time?
Oh, we can go all day, baby. We can go all day. When Dak Prescott was drafted in the 4th round and he had a good preseason and Tony Romo was still the quarterback, did you think Dak Prescott was going to be a $70 million quarterback in his rookie season? I'll tell you the answer to that. No, you did not. When Aaron Rodgers rode the pine for 3 years, did you think his ceiling was 18-year pro, 2-time NFL MVP, Super Bowl champion quarterback? No, you didn't know what you had in Aaron Rodgers. When Drew Brees was a 2nd-round pick by the San Diego Chargers and they decided to get rid of him for Phillip Rivers, did you know Drew Brees, short white quarterback, unmobile, noodle arm, he did it in Purdue in the Big Ten. Did you foresee Drew Brees becoming what he did at that beginning point of his career? The fact that we're already doing that 11 games in should already, it should allow people to give him the proper damn respect that he deserves, whether or not how he does it at this point in his career. 11 games in. 11 games into Baker Mayfield's career, people wanted to anoint him the next coming. He was the number 1 overall pick.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't do it. And what I'm saying is stop doing it. Stop doing it. Give these dudes their...
But this is where you go. He got his credit. Look at all the commercials he was in the next year. Look at how much praise he got. Just now, he's not as good.
Bro,
so what I'm saying is that, like, yes, I agree with you that you can compare him to his peers all day long. But if Baker's head and shoulders above his peers, why are we bothering with that? Why are we even making those comparisons? It's the same thing with Mac. Mac is head and shoulders above Trevor Lawrence.
All right, so we'll move. Where's the goalpost? So where's the goalpost for Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Trey Lance? Where's their goalpost? So because we're not going to compare.
We have no idea where they're at.
So we're not. So we don't know what their ceiling is, right?
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. Stop with it because everybody's saying he doesn't have the ceiling as these other guys. So then what is Trey Lance's ceiling? What is Justin Fields' ceiling?
I have no idea.
Okay, what's Trevor Lawrence's ceiling?
But to me, Trevor Lawrence's ceiling is much higher.
Why?
If he was to reach his potential, we all know that he has Hall of Fame traits across the board. With his arm, with his legs, and in his intellect.
We don't all know that. I don't know that.
Mac Jones does not have the legs.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to have that.
I'm not saying you have to have that, but it's an intangible. We're talking about intangibles here. That's why people like Justin Fields more. Because he has a similar style arm. It's the intellect that
who else had
good, very smart quarterback.
You know who else had good intangibles and it was an MVP candidate 3 years ago? You know who else had good intangibles, great legs, MVP candidate? Mitchell Trubisky had great intangibles and was a damn MVP frontrunner going into the 2018 season. Go look it up. He had people legitimately were laying money on Mitch Trubisky when Matt Nagy first got there to win NFL MVP. He's got intangibles.
But this
Tavares Jackson's got intangibles.
Right? You look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen is
and he was god awful for 2 years. He was god awful for 2 years.
But when it goes right, you see the upside. You don't have that in Mac Jones. When you see the intangibles go right, which they don't often do, that's why NFL teams
let's keep it a buck. Nobody foresaw what Josh Allen did last season. Nobody called that shit. Nobody.
But then,
there was no foreseeing anything.
If nobody saw that, why did the Bills draft him so high?
Why did Josh Rosen get drafted high? Why did Blaine Gabbert, Christian Ponder, E.J. Manuel, Jake Locker, Jamarcus Russell, Dwayne Haskins, Tua Tagovailoa, why did they get drafted high? Because you take a shot. You take a shot on what you think a player could become. That you take a shot on your system and your ability to develop a player. You take a chance. There is no sure thing. This proverbial ceiling that we see right now. What is Zach Wilson's ceiling to you? What's Zach Wilson's ceiling?
I have no idea.
All right, he's the number 2 freaking overall pick. That's why they're drafted there. You don't know what these guys can do, but this narrative that, he's dink and dunk, he's not doing it. What else do you want him to do? With Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Tom Brady had to get the hell out of Dodge because he knew I ain't got nobody here. I'd rather Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski catching passes for me than Jacoby Myers and this love boner fest for some wide receiver that would be at best a wide receiver 2 on every other team in the NFL, maybe outside of Detroit. It's silly stuff, man. It's silly stuff. If the stance you want to take is fantasy, then fine. My hat's sliding off. I'm sweating right now. If it's fantasy, then fine. That's fine. Like, okay, he doesn't run around, and right now, 11 games into his career, he's not throwing for a ton of yards in fantasy football. But in 3 years from now, do you think he's going to be the same exact player 3 years from now that he is 11 games into his career? Are you the same person you were last year that you are this year? You learn. You grow. You get better as a content creator. You work at your craft. You go back, you practice, you study in the offseason, and you try to come back bigger and faster and better and more creative to produce a better product. The same shit applies. He doesn't have to run around to be elite. Tom Brady plays beyond the X's and O's, and you know how he does it? Cerebral, like his processing, pocket mobility, how he sees the field, getting the ball out on time, making sure his weapons can do stuff. You don't have to run all around the damn field and just throw the ball around. That's not just the singular definition of playing beyond the X's and O's. A lot of people seem to think that, but that's not the case. Richard Sherman's not the most talented cornerback to ever play, but what he was good at, he mastered what he was good at. He mastered his craft. Des Bryant couldn't run a complete route tree. Go listen to Randy Moss. Randy Moss said early in his career, I knew I can do three things well. I can run deep fast. You get me the ball quick. I can run after the catch. That's all he said. I focused on the things that I could do well. The things that I can do well. And I'm going to master those things. So all I'm saying is give him a damn chance to do what he does well and stop saying his ceiling is capped. Oh, 11 games in. I don't know what his ceiling is. Like, we got to stop, man. Shit.
What my only counterpoint to what you're saying is that everything you're talking about, he already does well in the NFL. He can get better, but he already is doing all these things very well. It's the mental side, to me, is the only area where I see a lot of growth potential. The yards will come. The weapons will come. But everything else he already does really well. He's already mobile in the pocket and can manipulate the pocket. He's already an accurate passer. So that's why I'm saying, where's he going to go from here? That's
nowhere. He's going down. It's downhill. From game 12 to the last 10 years of his career, nowhere to go. Nowhere to go but down. He's hit. He will never get better. 10 years later, Mac Jones is still going to be dink and dunk. He will never get any better. You're right. You are right. There's no way on God's green earth that he can become a better player 5 years from now. It's done. He's done, everybody. Mac Jones, that he's reached it. Jay Rich said it. There's nowhere to go.
I'm just saying.
You're right. There's nowhere to go.
Baker's the perfect comparison, though, because everyone thought Baker could go so much higher, and he actually did get worse.
Yep.
Like he actually did. Yep. That's not really refutable.
We'll use that Baker. No way he can get better. Just done. All right. Dallas, Kansas City. Go. I need water. I'm going to get water. At this point, I don't even know what are we doing. I gotta go get water. I'm thirsty. I can't do it. Go. I gotta go get water. Go.
All right. So we're gonna start with Dallas, Kansas City, the GQ game of the week. Dallas coming off their big win against the woeful Falcons. Now they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Both teams, man, they've had big weeks last week. Dallas Cowboys continue to improve on defense, top 10 in points per game and rushing yards allowed, only allowing 101 yards per game. Dallas Cowboys are pretty good. You know, a couple of weeks ago I said, Dallas Cowboys, #1 team in the NFL. And to be honest, they kind of looking like it. You know, the Bucs aren't playing that well. The Rams aren't playing that well. But the Chiefs' defense is improving too. You know, they started off the season really, really bad against the run. They're slowly getting better. They're only allowing 114 rushing yards per game, which I think Dallas can still exploit a little bit, but they're still allowing 24 points per game. So the Chiefs, I think they're going to allow a lot of points in this game. They're playing at home. They're favored by 2.5 in Arrowhead. So we're going to see what ends up happening with the Chiefs, but I think Dallas ultimately is going to be able to have a great game against this Chiefs defense. The Cowboys are #1 in total offense, averaging 31.6 points per game and 433 yards per game. And they're both top 5 in passing and rushing, the only team in the NFL to do so. So, Ray, how are you feeling about your Cowboys they're underdogs by 2.5? I like the over in this game, 56.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like a game that's destined to go over. Cowboys, Chiefs, two potential top 5 offenses in the NFL, even though the Chiefs aren't really playing like it. I like the over, and I kind of like the Cowboys to cover and win in this game.
Oh man, it's one of those things where I'm trying hard, Jay, to leave my Cowboys bias out of this one because
just don't put on the damn helmet.
No. We ain't going. I'm not. I can't. Listen, man. Sometimes I like to have fun. I can't play around today. We cannot afford for the helmet curse to strike again. But they are coming off of a get-right game versus the Falcons. Like, everything was clicking, man. Offensively, defensively. I'm interested because Kansas City has they've played well the past couple of weeks, but they also, last week was the first time we really saw, Mahomes versus the Raiders kind of bombing the ball deep, playing a little, pushing the ball downfield, kind of playing like we want Kansas City to play. But the 2 games before that versus the Giants, and I'm trying to think of who they played right after the Giants, but it's been sort of like take what's there. They had double safeties over top. The Raiders played single high safety. I think the Cowboys are going to be smart, play 2 safeties over the top of Mahomes and force him to beat him, beat the Cowboys short and intermediate. I do not believe Dallas is going to allow Kansas City to just bombs away. I'm interested to see how they utilize Micah Parsons in this one and how he does with Patrick Mahomes, who we know likes to scramble around. I think the tone has to be set by the defense. I really don't have any concern about Dallas's offense. I think the offense is going to be what the offense is. They're going to run the ball. I'm starting to get a little worried about Zeke. I want to see Zeke get right, get back in the groove, get back to running the ball tough. But I think offensively we're going to be fine. With the weapons that we have, Michael Gallup is back. Offensively, I think we're going to be good. Arrowhead's a tough place to play, and this is the 3:30 game, 3:25 game, 4:25 kickoff. So all those
game of the week. So
all those Chiefs fans, they're up, they're awake, they've had drinks. It's going to be loud, and Dallas travels well. Like it's going to be an electric atmosphere in the stadium and potentially a Super Bowl preview matchup. It's going to come down to Dallas's defense versus Kansas City. Are they going to be able to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes? And we've seen the formula to beat them is to get pressure on Mahomes. Do not allow them to go over the top on you. I cannot wait for the matchup of Micah Parsons versus that offensive front. Still down Randy Gregory, no DeMarcus Lawrence. Kansas City, I'm not sure. Is Clyde playing in this one, or is it still another week of Darrell Henderson?
We're still unsure, but he is practicing this week. Remember, he came back to practice last week, but I'm not sure if they haven't cleared him to play fully yet.
Yeah.
But I think he's trending towards playing this week. Last week there was people who said he might play. I told you I wasn't really buying any of that shit. But I think he's going to be back this week after a full week of practice, lots of rest. It would have been, I believe, his 3rd week removed from the sprain, which is pretty good. Listen,
I still think he's the best option in that backfield, but it's hard to argue with how good they've played with Williams. So I wonder if that messes up some chemistry to a certain degree. You got Trayvon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. It's going to be Dallas's defense. It's going to be Dallas's defense, and Dallas's defense is not what I would call a stalwart on the defensive side of the ball. They're a bend but don't break opportunistic defense, right? They're not going to, they shut down Atlanta, but we know that Atlanta is terrible, right? They bend, they're opportunistic with sacks, with turnovers. We're seeing not just Diggs, but Anthony Brown get a lot of interceptions. Micah Parsons, sack or 2 every damn week. This is one where I think the over is definitely in play. And right now, I probably would take Dallas. I mean, plus 118. I know that's not a lot of juice there, but that's a good start to a parlay. I do think Dallas, or give the points to Dallas. I think Dallas covers in this one. I really do believe that the Dallas Cowboys are a better football team than the Kansas City Chiefs. I look at it from 2 ways. I think this is a game Kansas City needs to win. I think just for them to feel like, because they've beaten some not very good teams. The Giants aren't a very good team. The Raiders aren't a very good team. Dallas has taken down some decent teams so far in the NFC. This is a game Dallas probably wants to win, but I'm not sure they need to win this one. It's not a conference game. It's not a division matchup. Same with Kansas City, but Kansas City needs to show that they can stop somebody good. And I don't think they're going to be able to slow down. Here's the thing. I don't think Kansas City's defense will stop Dallas's offense, and I think Dallas's defense can force Kansas City maybe into a couple of field goal opportunities or some fourth down situations to give them the edge. If I had to predict the score of this one, man, I think this is like a 34-31 type of game. I think it's like 34-31. It's going to take 30-plus points for whomever to win this one to win this matchup. Sure. So 34-31, that gives the over. And then if the Cowboys do pull it out, Kansas City will not cover once again. I mean, if Dallas wins, they don't cover. And Kansas City, we know they haven't been good against the spread this season. Dak Prescott over 305. I love that. 2.5 touchdowns, not sure about that one, but plus 410 to score a touchdown. I can definitely see Dak running one in. He got one last week. Ezekiel Elliott, I probably would take the under on his rushing yard totals. I saw Chris Raybon, man. Shout out to Chris from the Action Network. He said, I saw a tweet that he put out, and he said people underestimate or overestimate, I think underestimate the amount of nothingness that happens in sports betting. You know what I mean? Like when I read that, I was like, he's right. Like a lot of times we just naturally as people want to be optimistic and bet the over, whether that's in the stock market. Oh, this price is going to skyrocket. Oh, Matt Ryan's going to hit the over. Oh, they should. But he said people underestimate the amount of nothingness that happens in games. And you look in all these shootouts, Aaron Rodgers versus Seattle last week. I know Aaron Rodgers is going to throw for a ton of yards. Under. Like a lot. I think Zeke in this one, I would probably take the under for Ezekiel Elliott. CeeDee Lamb, if I'm going over with Dak Prescott, if Dak's throwing for 300, I think that's really good for the pass catchers. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and probably a little bit rough for the running backs. Patrick Mahomes, 310-2. I probably would take the under on that one, man. I don't think Dallas is going to allow him to go deep. I'd probably take the under on Patrick Mahomes, 310. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, don't know if he's going to play, so I wouldn't fool with it. And I really, honestly, truly, I don't know what to do with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. I'm not sure. I mean, I do feel good about the under on Patrick Mahomes. One of them is going to get theirs, and I don't think both of them are going to go off. And I don't know which one.
Who would you guess?
Probably Kelce, because from a linebacking perspective, we don't have anybody that can really cover him. I think I think Patrick Mahomes is going to challenge Stephon Diggs. I think they're going to try to get him in some double move situations. Trayvon Diggs. I think, what did I say? Did I say Stephon Diggs? He's going to challenge Stephon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs. But I think they're not going to allow Tyreek Hill to beat them over the top. So if I had to pick the over on either of these guys, it would be Travis Kelce. I think Tyreek's going to get his receptions, but 86.5 yards, I'm not sure about that one, man. So that's where I'm at with this game. Overall, I'm really excited to see Dallas. I think most people, they want to see Dallas, like if they're for real, if they beat Kansas City, I think at that point in time, even though Kansas City is not playing like the Kansas City of the past, I think that'll give a lot of people confidence like, yo, this Dallas team is for real. And I still think they're like 12-1 to win the Super Bowl. I still think their odds are like 12-1 to win the Super Bowl. So that's where I'm at with the Dallas-Kansas City game. I see a lot of people in the comments saying that they are excited about this one. And as always, Top Dog hating on Dallas's defense. Dallas defense will get exposed. Sir. Well, worry about your Carolina Panthers because they're god-awful. All right. Minnesota, Green Bay. Did you want to go Minnesota, Green Bay, or did you want to go Chicago? I'm sorry, man. I'm all over the place.
No, you can go Minnesota, Green Bay. That's fine.
All right, let's go Minnesota, Green Bay. Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers. Divisional matchup. No Aaron Jones in this one. So, A.J. Dillon, over under 81.5 rushing yards and 26.5 receiving yards. Man, they're saying A.J. Dillon is going to go off. Aaron Rodgers, over under 270.5 and 2.5 touchdowns. Devonta Adams over under 97.5 receiving yards. Last year in Minnesota, Devonta Adams had 17 targets, caught 14 passes for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns, and averages over 90 yards per game against Minnesota over the last 3 years. Kirk Cousins, after his big week last week, 267 yards is his total with 1.5 touchdowns. I'm telling you right now, don't feel great about the passing yard numbers for Kirk Cousins, but I do like 1.5 touchdowns, the over there. I think he can throw you 2 without going, ballistic through the air. Dalvin Cook, 83.5 rushing yards. Justin Jefferson, over under 75.5 and 6 receptions. Is this indoor or outdoor game? This is indoor.
Indoor, baby. It's at home, so he's playing indoors.
So he's
good for 100.
He's good to go.
The problem is the Green Bay defense, man.
Yeah,
the Green Bay defense through the air is so good.
So good.
They're ranked third in yardage allowed. They're only allowing 202 pass yards per game. Now, I'm not so worried about that. I know Justin Jefferson can easily command a 50% market share from Kirk Cousins, but that's going to be a tough assignment no matter how you slice it. He's going to get double teamed. Thielen, I don't know what's up with Thielen. Like, every time I think he has a chance to have a big game, like even against Baltimore, I'm like, okay, Baltimore's one of the worst defenses in the league. Thielen can get something done. He didn't get the ball. He didn't get the ball at all. Jefferson was actually the one who did more work, and it was a lot from KJ Osborne. But this week, I don't know. I'm kind of off Thielen a little bit. I'm more inclined to take Jefferson. 75 yards I'm okay with. But again, the pass defense for Green Bay has been stellar. A.J. Dillon, easy over. I love him to score as well, even at minus 145. I'm taking the over on Adams for yards because he's going to go way off. Remember, Rodgers is dealing with a toe injury, so he's probably not running around too much. He'll have to get the ball out a little bit earlier. So I definitely like that number. And then we'll see. The Vikings have been bad at home this season too. We've talked about how they score 30 points on the road, but they're not playing as well at home. And Rodgers and the Packers stomped them last year in Minneapolis. It's going to be, no weather, dome, and Rodgers plays really, really well in domes, really well indoors. He's used to playing outside in Chicago, in Green Bay, where he's still putting up yards. I don't know if I like him over 270, but I think the 2.5 passing touchdowns is definitely in play.
Okay.
But they'll probably all go to Devonta Adams.
Realistically, they'll probably all go to if they get inside the red zone or inside the 5, they're going to try to pound Dillon in the end zone.
Yeah. 100%.
And like you said, Minnesota, they're allowing over 130 yards per game on the ground and over 233 through the air. So I'm with you. A.J. Dillon is a great play. Defensively, we're talking about how good Green Bay is. They rank third in the NFL in yardage allowed, and they're only allowing 107 rushing yards per game, which is about average, and then 202 passing yards per game. So they're not,
it's hard to beat them.
Yeah.
They're playing
they're playing good defense.
Even those averages are probably skewed the wrong direction. Like in the past few games, they haven't been allowing a lot of yards at all.
Yeah.
So you think from that perspective, like Seattle, I think when we looked it up last week, they only had like 160 yards of total offense last week. They didn't put up any points, but it's just like this is how good
that was Russ too. Russ coming
right
back off of the injury.
Rusty Russ.
Yeah, Russ was. Do you like Dalvin Cook 83.5?
No, I don't.
I don't like it either.
I don't love the number.
I don't either. I would take the under.
The one thing I'm trying to figure out is whether or not I like the over or the under. I like Green Bay to cover. They're favored by 2.
I gotta write these down.
47.5. That's the one I'm not sure about. Because 47.5, implied point total of about 25 to 23, 25, 22 or so. If you want to go that route. I just don't. I'm not really there. Like, you think about it, that's like maybe a 24-21 and more conventional scoring for the NFL.
Well, it is indoors. It is indoors, so you're not having to deal with any inclement weather that could be in. I don't know what the weather's like in Minnesota right now, but I'm assuming probably
not good considering it's snow outside my door.
Probably
right
a little
now.
chilly out there, so it's indoors. Yeah,
I think it's too close to bet personally. I don't think it's going to be under. I think it could go over. But I think both these teams run a lot. I just don't think Dalvin Cook's going to be able to get free. I think it's going to be more so in the play-action game. That's how Minnesota moves the ball. And a little bit with Thielen, Osborne, Conklin. Conklin's number's like 38.5. I don't love it. But if you want to maybe bet on him to score a touchdown, he's probably like plus 200 or so.
Okay.
I don't mind that. So we'll see.
All right, let's go to
Jefferson anytime TD too, 125. I like that.
All right, let's talk Baltimore, Chicago. Let's talk Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields. I like the title of this, the Konami Code Breakers, right? You get dual threat ability of both guys. Baltimore coming off of, they have played a little down the competition over the last couple of weeks, but Chicago's not good. Is this a get right and light 'em up game for the Baltimore Ravens versus Chicago, or do you think the young kid is going to outduel his Konami Code predecessor in Lamar Jackson? Where are you at with this matchup, man?
It's funny. So we've said a lot of things about Justin Fields, me in particular. I've disparaged Justin Fields heavily in your mind.
Right.
But I'm tempted to take Justin Fields' over in passing yards, and that's with Allen Robinson potentially not playing. Allen Robinson missed practice all week, and people are saying he'd be surprised if he played. So how do we feel about Justin Fields? 215 passing yards, 1.5 touchdowns. I kind of like it. I think it's pretty low considering the Baltimore Ravens are allowing the most passing yards in all of the NFL.
Man.
Which
crazy.
I didn't even know until I looked it up. So I don't know, man.
215 is low.
I would probably
is
take
low.
Chicago to cover. I'd probably take the under in this game because especially that Chicago's susceptible on the ground, not through the air. So for me, I think the Ravens are going to run the ball a lot. I think Chicago's going to run the ball a lot. But I do think there's like a small chance Fields can hit that over. It is a lot, though, in a game that could be a lot of running, a lot of defense, and it's going to be cold. It's outside. Like, it's just not a game you want to be passing a lot in. That's my only fear. But Mooney's over. I want to take. There's just no line for it. PrizePicks doesn't have a line. Nobody has a line for Mooney. And I'm willing to take it up to 58.5 was the number I came up with. I think I'd be willing to take it anywhere under that.
I think it might be a little under that. I think it might with Mooney. It might be like 49.5. Will he get 50 or 51.5?
So I'm saying I'm willing to take it up to that number. If you see anywhere under that, I think it's a good number for Mooney because he can break a big play. And then Kmet as well. Kmet's another guy who will see a lot of targets if Allen Robinson isn't playing.
And that Baltimore pass defense is horrible. Like, we talk about Marlon Humphrey being one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Not this season. I mean, for whatever reason, and he said it versus Cincinnati. It's like, I just haven't been playing well. Like, he said it.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a good corner. He's got a lot of talent, but he's been bad. That Baltimore secondary, we think about the Baltimore's defense just being stalwarts year in and year out, and their defense that can be exploited. So I think the passing yard number is low, 215. That's something Justin Fields, man, the last time he was in a situation to go under, I think he had damn near 300 passing. So if you think Baltimore is going to run over Chicago and score a lot of points, then you got to take Justin Fields over because they're not going to be – Baltimore's still good at defending the run, right? They're still one of the better run defensive teams. Yeah. So I don't expect a lot from Montgomery, 60.5 rushing yards. I'd probably take the under on Montgomery, to be honest with you. With Fields running the ball, with Khalil Herbert getting his 6 to 9 carries, I'll probably take the under on David Montgomery and the over on Justin Fields. And I'm not saying he's going to go ballistic, but 215, even with Allen Robinson out, I don't think that's really going to, let me not say that. It does affect their passing attack, but you still have Mooney, you still have Kmet. Goodwin, I didn't even know he was still playing. I mean, he's still out there. So I think we just need to wait and see what the line is for Darnell Mooney. Baltimore -5. I don't know, man.
I don't like it, man. They've been playing too down to their competition. But to your point about Fields, he's throwing a deep pass attempt on 16% of his pass attempts, period. It's second highest in the NFL, only behind Russell Wilson. So he wants to throw deep. Whether it's to Kmet, whether it's to Mooney, all three of those guys can get deep, and I think there's going to be opportunities against the Baltimore Ravens defense that's allowing a ton of big plays. So I think it's just a foregone conclusion that one of those is going to hit. Which guy it is, we're not sure, but it could be Mooney or Kmet pretty easily as the top two targets in the offense.
All right. Oh, man. Wentz. Carson Wentz.
Who's going to show up?
Versus, I honestly, did you spell check that? I think it's W like ENCE. Or are you just being funny?
Oh, like Wentz, as in like interceptions, my man. Interceptions. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Oh, look at you. This was clever. Like WINTZ, like Wentz. You dirty dog. That's a good one. I was looking at it like, I know this son of a bitch is from Canada and he can't spell everything right, but maybe this is a Canadian spelling here, but I believe that is incorrect. But I like what you did there. Buffalo -7, over under 50. Josh Allen, man, he looked like the MVP last week. They had to get right after losing to Jacksonville. And honestly, I don't know what Carson Wentz is going to show up. You just never know what you're going to get from Carson Wentz. 227.5 passing for him, 1.5 touchdowns. And you said this is one of your favorite matchups of the week because it contains your favorite player. You love slamming and dunking on Carson Wentz. Buffalo's defense has been outstanding this season, allowing the fewest points in the league at 15 points per game. And they've been very good versus the run, third in the NFL, which is not good for Jonathan Taylor. They're second in the NFL in yardage allowed in the passing a game, which, like, you can't run on them. You can't throw on them. I mean, honestly, the way that they lose is surprisingly what Jacksonville did. Just pray that they don't score. Pray you just field goal them to death. Pray that they have an off day. Like, Josh Allen's just off. The O-line is off. They can't do anything. Diggs can't get open because you're not going to punish them. You're not going to exert your dominance over Buffalo. It's time we start giving Buffalo, I'm listening to a lot of big media people talk about, like, the top teams in the NFL, and the first teams that you hear, like Arizona, Green Bay, Dallas, and then Buffalo's that, like, but I know they may not have the best record, but, like, when you look at this team, defensively, they're so good, man. And when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen and a wide receiver like Stephon Diggs, they're getting Dawson Knox back, I believe. He was
back last week.
Yeah,
so he should be
back.
Full go.
I mean, back. Like, he should be back. You know what I mean? Like, it still takes, coming off of an injury, a game or two to get your feel back, get your legs back. I mean, I like Buffalo. I like Buffalo -7. I like them to cover in this matchup, man. I think they make life hell for Carson Wentz, and we get some of those WINTZ plays from Carson Wentz. I think the big question that people are going to look at is Jonathan Taylor matchup proof? Can Jonathan Taylor, despite tough matchups, can he still succeed on the ground? He's third in the NFL in yards after contact per attempt with 3.68. JT's trying to go to over 1,000. He can go over 1,000 in this game. What are your thoughts in this matchup? The one of the offensive stats that I really do like for the Colts is Michael Pittman Jr. over 23.5 yards for his longest reception. Like, he's always going down the field. I think Pittman will give you one of those. And even if the air yards aren't there, he's the type of player that can catch a 17-yard dig, turn it up, and run after the catch. So where are you at with this matchup?
So this one's tough. I honestly think that the Colts are going to play him really tight. Jonathan Taylor, the last time we talked about this Bills defense, we said Derrick Henry can't possibly do it.
I know.
And he did it on one play.
One play.
He did it on one play, made us look like
it's Derrick Henry, but Jonathan
like
Taylor's in that mold. Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor's right there.
Yeah, he's in that mold.
Everyone talks about it.
Yeah.
I haven't got a chance to watch Hard Knocks yet. I don't know if you have.
I have not.
I saw a clip of one of the coaches. I don't know if it's a strength coach or the running back coach. And he was talking about how Jonathan Taylor is literally the best player he's ever coached. And he said he's coached all kinds of players, Hall of Famers, all this stuff. He said Jonathan Taylor is the most talented player he's ever coached. And I forget who the GM is at the Colts, but he's talking about how, like, he's even better than we thought he could be, like, way better than we thought he could be. And it's nuts because we've talked about it a couple times, and I've mentioned it on this show a couple times. Jonathan Taylor is the player everyone wanted him to be. Everyone saw it in college. Yeah. Everyone saw it in high school. Everyone saw it from the beginning of his NFL football career, honestly. This dude can be a monster, and he's continued
to is a monster
every single week. And I just don't think I can bet against him. The same way we can't bet against Nick Chubb, I just think that I cannot bet against Jonathan Taylor, and 73.5 yards is pretty light for him. Carson Wentz, on the other hand, I don't know. I think he'll throw a pick, but even 227.5, not a crazy number for Wentz. And important thing to keep in mind, he's leading the league in defensive pass interferences, like penalties.
Yeah.
From his throws.
Yep.
It's 223 yards he's got off defensive pass interference. Now, I want to say like 150 of those probably came in the game against San Francisco. Because every time he threw it up, they got a defensive pass interference play.
Yep.
But the thing about Wentz is he's willing to throw those balls, and the receivers know what to do when they're in the air to draw those flags. That's going to help them stay close. That's going to help them gain yards. It's not going to count on the stat sheet, but it's going to help keep them in the game. Something that Wentz does very, very well. Now, of course, I'm fearful, man. Carson Wentz, when he's back there and he gets pressured, we don't know what he's going to do.
You don't know what he's going to do.
You don't know what he's going to do.
You don't
we
know.
don't know who he's going to throw the ball to.
No
That's
clue.
what scares me more than anything.
Yeah.
But that being said, that's why I like the over. Josh Allen and the Bills need to play way better in the red zone. They've been playing like dog shit all season long. One of the guys I want to see play more is Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis had 100 yards last week. He played about 54% of snaps.
Had 3 catches, though, man.
3 catches, 3 targets, but he played 54% of snaps, highest of the season. I think it's a bit of an outlier, but I want to see if they get him involved this week as well. I think it's one thing to monitor.
Was Emmanuel Sanders hurt? Did Emmanuel Sanders get hurt?
I think he was banged up a little bit, and that's why
Gabe
Davis played a little bit more.
But not hurt to where he's going to miss this game, right?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
And same thing with Beasley. Like, Beasley wasn't overly involved last week, but the big thing is Dawson Knox is back, right? Like you mentioned, he played 84% of snaps last week, and so I think he's going to be heavily involved. The Colts are not good against the tight end, and Dawson Knox is plus 220 to score a touchdown and only 35.5 receiving yards. 2 numbers that I really, really like a lot.
I like both of those.
Josh Allen to go for 300, I'm kind of iffy on against the Colts. but I think he can hit his rushing yard number, 33.5.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I'm
that's one
taking
he can
I'm
definitely
taking
do.
Josh Allen over rushing yards, 33.5. Yeah, let me write that down. Yes.
So,
Yes.
so right now, for me, right, Wentz, I kind of like the over on his passing yards if you want to go that. It's only 227. If you want to go after anytime touchdown, he's 440, which anytime a quarterback that actually runs for touchdowns is in the 400s, I'm considering it. Jonathan Taylor rushing 73.5 over. I'm not going to touch the passing yard or the receiving yards this week. It's 23.5, which is a little bit high for me. Pittman 62.5, don't love it. Longest reception though, 23.5, like you mentioned, like that. Josh Allen, I like to hit 300. I like the rushing yards at 33.5. I like him to score if you want to take that at plus 130. And then Dawson Knox, 35.5 receiving yards and anytime touchdown, 220. I like both those numbers.
All right, there you go. Let's talk Philly, New Orleans, battle of playoff hopefuls. You got a little Marshawn Lattimore versus Devonta Smith. Smith he's had some tough matchups that he's had to deal with this season. He's gone against some really good defensive backs, and he's getting another good one this week versus the Saints. This could be one of the ugliest games on paper, but there's a lot of playoff potential implications in this matchup. Both teams need a victory to keep pace with the top dogs in the NFC to get that wild card spot. I don't believe either team are going to outright win their division, but they are definitely playing for a wild card spot. The Saints are still the top team against the run in the NFL, and I know Philadelphia of late, they want to run the ball, but they're only allowing 73 yards per game, man. So the question is, and I know you put it on the show sheet, can they contain Jalen Hurts? I think that's a no. But can they shut down Philadelphia's running backs? I say yes, they
Absolutely.
can. And they're going to force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball, whether Nick Sirianni wants to do it or not. Does Marshawn Lattimore travel with Devonta Smith? This is going to be – I wish there could just be a camera on those two because I just want to see. Because Lattimore is going to press him. You know, we talk about – one of the things that a lot of people talked about Smith is can he defeat press coverage, you know, and – we've gone through that a bunch of times. The answer is yes. But that doesn't mean you defeated every single play, every single rep. He's got to beat it on the reps that matter when he's trying to get the ball. If they can just put a camera on those two, I would love to see how those two battle one another because Lattimore is, in a non-skin color way, a scrappy corner. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a dog.
He wants to get under your skin.
Yes, he's a dog. He's a scrappy, just dog. He's going to be physical with you. He's going to hit you after the play. He's going to slap you in the head. He's going to do all kinds of stuff. He's going to try to bully Devonta Smith around. So it's going to be interesting to see that. I think Jalen Hurts is going to get his. Double G always talks about it. Jalen Hurts' rushing prop under 50 is the gift that keeps on giving. And it's at 47.5. I know DeMario Davis is a beast. Malcolm Jenkins is a beast. Davenport, Cam Jordan, I get it. That defense is legit. But Jalen Hurts off script, running the ball, rolling right. You know he's going to roll right. I think he's going to roll right enough to get us 50 rushing yards. So I do like that. Alvin Kamara's playing, right? Kamara's playing?
No.
He's not playing? I thought he was.
He didn't practice again yesterday.
Oh, man. So no Kamara?
No, he's a maybe, you know, like it's one of those things.
Man.
Like he could play, but we may see a lot more Mark Ingram. That's why we're not seeing a whole lot of props right now. Like there's nothing out for Kamara. There's nothing for Mark Ingram. The only guy out there is Callaway at 33.5 receiving yards. I like that number. Plus 230 anytime touchdown. You know, whatever. I'm not really feeling that. But the big thing is Jalen Hurts, like you mentioned, 47.5 rushing yards.
I like the over.
Taylor Heineke on 5 carries had 40 rushing yards against the Saints.
Yeah,
so
I think
Jalen
this
Hurts runs the ball like
this.
I think he's run the ball for at least 13 carries in the past.
He's gonna run the ball in this one. They're not gonna be able to run the ball down New Orleans' throat conventionally.
No.
All these other things, Dallas Goedert, we don't know if he's cleared. Quez Watkins, no thank you.
Really? Okay, so here's my beef, right? The Saints have allowed 264 pass yards per game.
Okay.
Across the board. We know you can't run on them.
Right.
So you're going to have to pass. So again, we know that it's probably not going to be Smith easily getting those yards. Either Smith's going to go off or it's going to have to be the other guys. It have to be a Goddard, have to be a Quez, have to be a Rager, have to be whoever else. I don't know who their backup tight end is right now off the top of my head.
Tyree Jackson.
Oh, the quarterback from Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be interesting.
That'd be interesting.
But you won't find any props for him. But so that's where I think that while it may not be a lot of yards, a lot of these guys have, like Quez Watkins isn't going to be over 35 yards, you know, but he can break that on one play. And so again, Jalen Hurts could easily hit that 200-ish passing yard number, and he's listed right now at 204. So if he gets 204 passing yards, is Smitty going to get 100 yards on Lattimore? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. He could, but he might honestly get like none. If Lattimore shuts him down, someone's going to have to do something, and Jalen Hurts will probably.
So would you take the under on Smith receptions and yards right now, 57.5, 4.5?
I don't think I'd take the under. I think I would not bet it, though.
You would not bet it?
I think I would not bet it because I think the range of outcomes is a little bit too high.
I'm so argued out that I can't fight you on anything else, man. I am physically exhausted from the beginning of the show. Physically.
Do you hear that, everybody?
You beat me.
Finally beat you down.
You
wore you down.
You wore me down. I am physically exhausted.
You had a late night last night. I got you all riled up at the beginning of the show, and now there's nothing you can say about it.
All right.
But the other prop is Najee. Over 79.5 rushing yards. I have to mention this. The Chargers are still the worst defense against the run. They are allowing over 150 rush yards per game, and Najee Harris has gone over this number in 4 of his last 5 games. I don't care who the hell is playing quarterback. He's going way over this 79.5 rushing yards.
I think he's lost one of his linemen. I think Pittsburgh is down another O lineman, man.
Bro, I don't care if he's down 2 linemen, 3 linemen, 1 quarterback, 2 quarterbacks. Najee's going over 80 yards against the Chargers. Chargers are terrible, especially against the run. They just allow teams to run the ball on them, and they don't allow a lot through the air. They're 4th in the league in passing. So it's going to be all Najee all day long. I like Najee a lot in this game. I think his prop is pretty secure to go over the rushing yards.
All right, there you go. I don't hate it, man. Again, I am defeated. I can't go any further, but I do want to drop our college football prize pick power plays of the week. This week we do like CJ Stroud versus Michigan State over 317 passing yards. Michigan State gave up a ton of yards to Purdue. Not a very good defense, and they have the best trio of wide receivers in the freaking country. So CJ Stroud over 317.5. This is a statement game for Ohio State. Smash the over. And in that same game, Mr. Henderson, y'all know how I feel about Mr. Henderson. Over 92.5 rushing yards versus Michigan State. We think the young stud, sensational freshman is going to have another monster game in prime time versus Michigan State. We also like Deuce Vaughn over 34.5 receiving yards. We talk about Jalen Hurts as rushing prop as the gift that keeps giving. Go ahead and lock in Deuce Vaughn over 34.5 receiving yards versus Baylor. And look, win the money. Use the promo code FTN at checkout for a 100% deposit match. We'll match you up to $100. You put in 100, Prize Picks give you 100 when you use the promo code FTN. But we like Stroud. We like CJ Henderson and Deuce Vaughn to cash the over this week in college football. Jay, we made it, baby.
You said CJ Henderson. Man, you are all over the place.
I said CJ Henderson?
Yeah.
You
said CJ Henderson, but that's okay.
You know who it is. You know who it is. POV.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Bruning. Here, Bruning, let me tell you something, man, real quick, before we go. As soon as I heard Ray say POV, I was like, okay, no, he's going down genres now. We got to get out of here. We got to stop this train.
The fact that all of y'all know what I'm talking about when I say POV lets me know that I am right on track and you all are some dirty dogs. But I appreciate y'all checking in. We will not have any POV on the show, but we will try to make some money, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in this week. Enjoy your weekend. Good slate of college football. Ohio State, come on, beat down Michigan State, Ohio State. I want to see it happen. Good weekend of college NFL football. Dallas Cowboys are going to pull out the victory versus Kansas City, and we'll be back on Monday to recap everything and do it all again going into Thanksgiving break. Y'all be safe. We out. Peace.